Hello, welcome to my stream today, where you have to excuse my lateness a little bit. There was some minor technical difficulties, and I really hope that everything works as intended now. Like, really genuinely do. Seems like it all works. Seems like we're all good. Yeah. Welcome to Girls Frontline. Specifically, Angular Gyrus has released. And it's gonna be start of all our problems. Have a good look, Flamat. And thank you very much for the 3 stream streak. I can tell you. You're not the only one that's tired as well. Work is being work. Means rewards. Yippee. Now I am going to essentially do some random maintenance stuff for the next 4 minutes-ish. For the simple reason that I don't want to start the story during the ads. And the ads start in 50 seconds. So we have a bit of time to just do some dailies. You know, no big deal. New neural upgrade for Sparse 12. Production rate for a certain amount of certain dolls. And Angular Gyrus. As far as I'm aware, Angular Gyrus also allows you to write letters. Alright, so I should maybe do my shoutbout, so I can probably do that real quick for the next 3 minutes. Let me just put my links into all the places I need to. Shoop. These. Okay. I do hope everyone has a great day. Again, I am myself as well a little tired. Hello, Bakasura. Hello, Lady Kasumi. How are you both doing? I hope you're doing well. EP nerd. Just a little. Turns out that streaming after work days is a thing. I'll still do it. Fucking love streaming, but super tired. Tired. Mostly fine though. I gotta quickly retweet a picture of a dog with a goose on their head. Or maybe a duck, I'm not sure. And then post my stream link. And then do the same thing, well, apart from the retweeting thing, but... Hello. Would you please and kindly delete that? Thank you. What is this outdated game? Hey, classic. What do you mean outdated game? Gods Online. Nyeh. Might have to show myself further into the corner. Jeez, that's good. Should be fine. I really hope that the sound and everything is working, because I've been having some technical difficulties with the sound every day for the last 3 or 4 days. I can very quickly listen to myself. I can very quickly listen to myself. I can very Thank you very much for the follow, Julia VTuber. Hello there. No. I don't do follow for follow. There. Done. Now the ads end in 10 seconds. So that's when we'll start Angular Gyrus. Which, as far as I understand, can also allows you to write 3 letters to 3 characters / dolls. I thought you meant a dog with a goose on the head. No, a dog. Specifically to Chef Naya. It's a Twitter post. Yeah. Show you. It's dog. I think it's a duck. But, you know. My optimizer is a very great artist in terms of GFL stuff. Love this stuff. Duck Chef Naya. So, the ads should be over. One nice duck. It's gonna honk at you and steal your bell. Bang. Do we have... We sure do. Sure do have an opening with the movie. Okay. That's Frankfurt. Peace was never an option. Yeah. I know you were talking about the duck, or goose, but... You're not wrong in terms of this game either. The bee sting. What do we have here? A bunch of information. There's actually a lot of information here already. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look into this after we do some chapters. There's some Morse code in the background. Do these know how to play chess? I do. Am I good at it? I am hesitant. Not because I don't want to know what's going on, but because this really is the beginning of the end. As far as I understand, this event is one of the last few ones. I know the rules of chess I don't know how to play. I do know how to play again, they're just not very good. 1, Petrica. It has stopped snowing. As the frost begins to thaw in the morning, water drips down from branches and roofs. The clouds hang low in the sky, making it dull and grey. On the outer wall of the shopping centre in Wiesbaden district, a large LED screen keeps on playing its content to the desolate sky. Good morning. It's November 1st, 2064, and the current time in Frankfurt is 6:01. Welcome to the news. First, an update on the latest development of the explosion at the Alte Oper. So far, the explosion has caused at least 64 deaths and wounded more than 200. The cause of the explosion is confirmed to be a suicide bomb carried by an RPK-16, a tactical doll produced by the Neo-Soviet Union. As of press time, no organization has claimed responsibility for the incident, but in the view of a human manifesto issued by RPK-16 prior to her death, the incident is now considered a vicious terrorist attack against the civilians instigated by dolls. The Neo-Soviet Union's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued an urgent statement this morning in response to this explosion, claiming that the state has ordered the doll manufacturer to shut down all research and development projects on related doll models, and that the experimental data will be seized and investigated by relevant government departments. It will be quite an achievement if that manufacturer still managed to produce any dolls of that kind, considering the fact that they assassinated her. She's been dead for years. This case will allegedly be led by the Neo-Soviet Union in coordination with the transnational German Joint Law Enforcement Initiative. Further details on the collaboration framework in progress will be released at a later date. Additionally, German police has issued a special bounty warrant for the remaining members of Task Force Defy, AK-12, AK-94, and AK-15. The charges listed on the warrant include murder, fatal terrorism, and endangering human security, among others. To prevent similar crises from occurring again, the German government issued the Interim Regulations for Doll Security, an emergency decree during the early hours of the morning. This marks a new wave of nationwide restrictions on dolls, particularly in the capital, following the full-scale traffic lockdown in Frankfurt on October 23rd. Key restrictions include prohibiting dolls from freely entering or exiting Frankfurt and Berlin, establishing temporary checkpoints on interstate highways and major transit routes, and conducting registrations, statistics collections, and neurocloud screening on dolls that are currently present within Frankfurt. Up next, we will go live to our correspondent Shadowless for on-the-ground coverage. Hello, this is Shadowless. I am now standing right by the Eisener Steg upon the Mainz. As you can see through the camera, there is a large crowd gathered here. I will now talk to some members of the public and see what they think about the new regulations. Hello, what are your thoughts on the interim regulations for doll security? What the hell is that? They're temporary measures introduced following a series of attacks on humans perpetrated by dolls. These measures are aimed at imposing restrictions on all dolls in Frankfurt and Berlin. Huh. Sounds like a pretty good idea. It improved public security, no? Thank you for your input. Hello, what are your thoughts on the interim regulations for doll security? Who cares about the dolls? Thank you for your input. No to the security regulations! No to the security regulations! Set the dolls free! Set the dolls free! A voice chanting slogans loudly attracts Shadowless's attention. She hurries towards a group of people currently crossing the bridge. Hello, what are your thoughts on the interim regulations for doll security? I'm against it. The policy is utterly senseless. It's put the operation of our hospitals into complete standstill. Could you elaborate? Hospitals in Frankfurt employ a large amount of dolls as counselors, pharmacists, nurses, security guards, etc. You don't allow the dolls to work, but you don't provide us with alternative manpower, so how are we supposed to fill this labor shortage? I understand. So you're opposed to this policy because of its severe impact on the hospital's operation and efficiency. Before the doctor can respond, Shadowless's microphone gets snatched away. I think the policy is great. We're finally throwing out those goddamn dolls and taking all our jobs. How can humans ever compete against dolls that don't eat, sleep, demand pay, or make mistakes? With her out of the picture, it'll be so much easier to get a job. Thank you for your input. Please give me back my microphone. If you ask me, I say we should just scrap all the dolls in the whole country. I support the nationwide adoption of the regulations. Other members of the group hold an agreement, but an even bigger commotion draws Shadowless' attention. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a doll being escorted by the police into the police station for a neurocloud screening. Hello, may I take up a couple of minutes of your time to conduct a short interview? Sure. What's your name? What are your thoughts of the interim regulations for doll security? My name is Marie, and I'm currently employed by a housekeeping services company and mainly work as a nanny. Did I do something wrong? Why am I under arrest? You didn't do anything wrong. This is done for the safety of the human citizens. There's a citywide screening to identify dangerous dolls. I've never harmed any humans. Please don't hurt me. That's enough. We need to go. The doll's wide, terrified eyes soon disappear from view. Near the Eisener Steg, Frankfurt. The Jeep parked on the side of the road bears silent witness to the scene. Then the engine starts and it drives off into the open highway. Inside the vehicle, the grim atmosphere weighs heavy on the expressionless dolls on the driver's seat. In the distance, high-definition camera slowly revolves, scanning the area. Unfazed, M16 keeps her face blank as she continues to play the law-abiding doll. Meanwhile, she locks onto the encrypted comms channel. The interim regulations for doll security are now in full effect. Any doll that don't meet the requirements are being taken away for inspection. And the office that handles all the admin procedures just so happens to be closed at such a critical time. Put it simply, they're not giving us dolls any time to react at all. Are you affected? No. The sly old fox got me some special permits, which should be more than enough to get me through any inspection. The biggest problem is with the Phi. The Stasi's place such a huge bounty on their heads that the poachers on the black market are all out for blood. Not gonna lie, even I find the sum very tempting. Still, isn't there hide in the Altstadt? I thought the inspection can be thoroughly enforced there. The Altstadt is pretty raucous, so it does make sense. It does make for the perfect hideout for outlaws. But no matter how lawless it is, the residents aren't blind. AK-15 sticks out wherever she goes, and since the anti-doll sentiments are running really high right now, people would just call the police if they see a doll out in the streets. So they can't stay in one place for long. Right, but I still don't think the fire is your biggest problem here. Why? Oh, please, I've grown out of taking petty revenge while on a mission. How very reassuring to hear. Then I'll let you do the talking. I'm off to find AF-18. Hey, wait, I'll go... What's the situation on your end? From what I know, the level of security you'll have to deal with when getting off the Autobahn and driving into the city will be even crazier than before. Yeah, there are definitely going to be more checkpoints than before. There's no way we can get past them without a permit. Not to mention, so many cars are trying to get into Frankfurt. The queues extend all the way out to the Autobahn itself. Still no news from AI-18. She said she's still waiting, but she'll hear back by the end. She'll be here back by the end of today, one way or another. But there's really no telling how things will turn out. I'll update you in the curfew situations within the city later. Hopefully the information will come in useful to you for you after you get in. Right. If things don't work out in A18's end, we also try other ways to get in. Right. 416. Yes. Do you really not mind working with me? I've told you already. It's all water under the bridge for me. Can we just focus on the mission at hand? That's it. This is a mission of critical importance. Our priority is to look at the commander. Then we must try our best to monitor Paraday's systems and activities. I don't want any problems among ourselves. You're not implying that 4-4 is a hindrance, are you? M16's lips curl into a smile. I can see that you're rearing to go, 416. The commander still has a lot of outstanding debt. We're going to hunt them down to collect it, even if it takes us to the end of the world. The sound of Avernus destruction rumbles on continuously. But at this moment, the commander's blind and deaf to everything else but the burning hatred for the man standing before them. William, I finally got you. Despite being a prisoner of war, William simply sneers derisively. The commander grabs the scrawny man and pulls him towards the interrogation room. An unfamiliar ceiling. There's no lights, just the rough surface of mortar. You awake, Commander? As the commander gasps laboriously, the soreness and heaviness in the limbs begin to drain away. The body feels like a mummy that has been slumbering for millennia, so fragile that it can snap in half any time. The commander turns their head and sees the girl sitting by the side. Dandelion. Where are we? How did we get here? I remember we were in the interrogation room on board the Elmo. What was it Williams doing? Like you, I know nothing about the current situation. Commander sets up with Dandelion's help, then they start studying the surroundings. It's a simple room with no windows and only one door. Faint light is seeping through the gap under the door. The ceiling. The floor is also coated in rough mortar and yields no information. The only furnishing in the room consists of a surveillance camera installed on the ceiling, a bed, a toilet, and a bucket half filled with water. How long have you been here? Maybe a week? Maybe a decade? Is this really the time for stupid jokes? Unable to glean much information from the room, the commander shifts the guest down the line. Something seems different about her. Can't see much in the dim light. You got before me? Yes. Did you see our abductors? I don't know who abducted us. All I know is that the last time this door opened, it was a handful of scientists working under William. What did they do? They took him to the lab. After that, I don't know. Commander checks Dandelion's exposed skin and finds no signs of injury. The wound is here. Dandelion points at her chest. Want to see? No. We need to get you out of here and give you a checkup. The commander wraps the stiff muscles. The communicator, sidearm, and weapon that they had on them are all gone. Can you contact the dolls? No, the signal's completely jammed here. The commander gets off the bed, walks over to the door, and gives it a few light taps to get a feel of its thickness. The knocks sound dull, as if the echo got absorbed by the walls, but it was probably over 50 centimeters thick and made of concrete. The commander feels around the door. It has no handles or peepholes, but there is a thin crack on the door. I try to pry it open. It's a slot for sliding fluid through. See outside through this crack. You're right. Can we use it to escape? Try. Through the crack, the commander sees that the key is actually inside the keyhole. So they simply have to turn the door handle on the other side. They tear out the shoelace and produce a simple lasso with it. Then they slide it through the crack in the door. The lasso successfully hooks around the door handle. Click. The door opens. A sense of unease suddenly washes over the commander. If the enemy makes such an obvious mistake, could this be another trap? Oh. Are you okay? Dandelion suddenly collapsed on the floor. Under the light shining through the now open door, the commander finally gets a good look at Dandelion. Her face is so pale her skin is almost translucent. Her slender arms are so weak and shaky she can't even prop herself up. Commander, just run. Leave me. Get on. Without any hesitation, the commander pulls Dandelion onto the back and creeps out of the room cautiously. All is utterly quiet outside the room. The commander notices that there isn't a single surveillance camera in the corridor, let alone any patrolling soldiers. But they remain on guard. Did you try to memorize the route when they took you to the lab? Yes, I remember the way. Then you navigate. We've got to get out of here ASAP. Okay. Also, have you always weighed this much? The commander has taken barely a few steps with Dandelion on the back, but they're already getting out of breath. Sorry for throwing you down. Just woke up and are still weak. You really should just leave me behind and get out yourself. Don't give me any of that. Show me the way. Now, I know that this is not Dandelion right now. Sometime later, the commander finds themselves back at a familiar place. I also know who it is. Are you sure this is the way? We've passed by the sword 3 times. Yes, I remembered it. How could this be? Don't panic. Just think through it carefully. Okay. Commander steps are growing unsteady, causing Dandelion to sway on the back. Why don't we take a short break? Can't. We've got to get out immediately. We need to determine your physical condition, and the Elmo is... Commander. The commander topples over like a decrepit building and hits the floor. As the world spins out of control all around them, a pair of black leather shoes comes into view and stops right next to their face. Commander, you're such a gentle soul. You're so feeble yourself, but you're still so determined to take me with you. A hand strokes the commander's hair. You're a veteran that has lived through countless battles. Why are you still so naive? Who are you? You've been calling me Dandelion, haven't you? You're not Dandelion. The girl narrows her eyes mischievously and bends down. She leans in so close that the commander can see their own reflection in those eyes. This music is... one of those things that is just... I remember the events of that event, and it's just... I'm pretty sure this was point care occurrence, and, mad. The light brown iris is called to me, and called to mind a gentle but resolute figure. Fall? However, the balefulness seeping through her features promptly dismisses any sense of familiarity. No, you're neither Dandelion nor M4. Who the hell are you? The girl looks slightly taken aback, but then her lips curl into a small smile, and she backs up a few steps gracefully. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lunasia. Lunasia, why are you here? Because Bill is calling out to me. Bill? The William that you've been looking for. Where is he? He's busy with more important things and hasn't got time for you right now. Screw this! The commander tries to get up, but the body is limp like a pile of mush. The Lunasia watches on with increasingly apparent amusement. But if you have anything to say to him, you can tell me. I'll relay the message when I feel like it. Why are you keeping me prisoner here? Why didn't you just kill me? Because I want you alive. The commander strains to peel themselves off the floor. Lunasia pushes them back down with a finger, all the while smiling. But how you live is entirely up to me. Lunasia takes the commander's hand and holds it against the cheek in an act of provocation. Don't you want to hit me? No. Huh? Why? I just tricked you. You are M4, as well as Dandelion. No, I am me. But you're not only you. How astute of you. Lunasia stands up, then she drags the commander back into the room by the back collar. Lunasia pushes a tablet over to the commander. I am very satisfied with your performance just now. I had a great deal of fun. As a reward, I'll let you write 3 messages to call for help. I'll send them for you. The commander stares at her dubiously, but she just keeps on smiling serenely. I know what you're thinking. You have serious doubt that I will do as I promise. Of course I will, but the messages will be garbled, and whether they get sent out in time will depend on your future performance. The commander flexes their wrists, then starts typing out the messages on the tablet. What an obedient child. I think we're going to get along splendidly. In the presence of this being who feels both familiar and unfamiliar, the commander ponders to whom the messages should be sent. Who'd you like to write a letter to, Commander? Tap to enter the interface for writing letters. Tap to begin write a letter. Select a unit to begin writing a letter. This is actually really fucking evil. I saw a post about this today as well, and it's just like... This is the beginning of the end, and you're asking us to write a letter to adults. Or characters. Because we're not just writing letters to adults. And I'm pretty sure that all of them are here. So you better make sure you know who to write to. But you can write to people that are no longer alive. Dear Jaeger, rot faster. Unfortunately, Jaeger is not an option. This is the question, though. Who do I write to? I know that I want to send one to Angelia. But what do you write to your closest comrade that has died because of your fuck up? I will leave this for now. Because while the story is presenting it as asking for or calling for help, what this is really letters of goodbye, because this is the beginning of the end of the game. I believe there's only like 3 events left, maybe even including this one, and that's the end of the story. So this is very much a question of who do you write to? It is very, very mean. 3 letters. One is definitely going to Angel. So 2 more. Maybe AWS. I do really like her. But it's one of those moves that is really just playing into the attachment that people and players have to the game and the characters. Because the people that are still playing this are very attached to the characters. And I will completely admit, so am I. Like, the amount of anger I have felt in this game. The story is insane. And not anger because of a bad game or anything, but anger because you are just so feeling for what's going on in the events. During uh, because RPK. One of them, yes. When it was first becoming very clear that Angelia is just gonna have died, I was very, very, very emotional about that. Cause fuck that, man. The commander's just about to press the send button, but the tablet gets snatched away. Lineasia scrolls through the message casually, then stores the tablet away in a bag. How very touching. I can feel the anguish in every word. But whether I'll send it depends entirely on your behavior. How are the dolls on the armor? I don't know. Bill might have blown them up as well? I demand a meeting with William. I told you, Bill is busy. Is he in the old custody? No clue. The commander slowly sits down on the mattress. When will he come to see me? Soon, or maybe never. You don't know the answer either. Lineasia sits down next to the commander with a chuckle. It's not an answer that I want. Then what do you want? The dust notes dancing in the dim light seems to have frozen suddenly. Time slows down as the commander stares into Lineasia's eyes, with bated breath, searching for their only hope. I want you to stay by my side, just like this. Keep out all the strife and just spend every day happily with me. Wouldn't that be nice? Or do you prefer a life of fighting and killing? The commander takes a deep breath. Their eyes close for a moment, then open again, and their faces as calm as the deep sea. I have always yearned for a peaceful life, but unfortunately there are those in the blood in carnage still waiting for me to return. So I must leave, Lineasia. Lineasia's face darkens, but she soon jumps to her feet and looks at the commander. You still don't understand. From now on, your life is in my hands. I decide how you get to live. All lights are extinguished in an instant. In the darkness, the commander feels himself being picked up, moved for some distance, and thrown into the back seat of a car. Soon begins a bumpy journey into the unknown, shrouded in darkness. When the hood is finally pulled off the commander's head, they find themselves in an unfamiliar room. Where am I now? Take a guess. The commander can just about make out the sound of a youthful chorus coming from beyond the room, singing in a melodious hymn that has the power to soothe the heart. We're in a church. Bingo! We're in Kaisertum St. Bartholomeus. Why have you brought me here? You love asking questions, don't you? You have countless questions. Many questions have no answers. I wanted to do it, so I did it. Lineasia walks over to the table where several piping hot dishes are waiting. She picks up a bottle of red wine and pours it into 2 wine glasses. Come and eat, Commander. The emptiness in the commander's stomach reminds them that it's been quite a long time since they last ingested any food. Is it to your taste? Yes. The commander eagerly shovels the food into their mouth, hardly paying any attention to Lineasia, who's sitting just across the table. You're such a tolerant person, Commander. A table filled with your least favorite dishes and you're still eating with so much gusto. The commander freezes for a moment before resuming their chewing with a smile. What's so amusing? You remember my least favorite foods. It's enforced memory, isn't it? It doesn't matter whose memory it is. I know you like the back of my own hand. You think these are merely memory data from other beings? Why's my head dying now? Oh no! That is terrible. I don't know. You think these are merely memory data from other beings. But they affect you and influence your decision without you even realizing it. Lenasia slams her cutlery down on the table and rises to her feet. Full already? It would not be wise to make me angry. Her clear eyes narrow slightly, giving the impressions of a mysterious and capricious cat that's basking in the sun. It was never my intention to make you angry. It's possible I'd like us to be friends. Lenasia storms out of the room. The commander can hear her angrily locking the door. So you remember everything. Oh, that is... that is actually kind of a power move. It's like, here, have all of these foods that you absolutely despise. But that means you know I despise them. Naylor! What's up with you? At a slightly run-down metro station in the Altstadt of Frankfurt. Unlike the usual tiredness and indifference, the passengers waiting on the platform are all brooding with unease and anxiety. They gather right below the metro station display screen, watching the live broadcast intently. Welcome to the Midday News. We're now bringing you the latest updates on the multiple serious traffic incidents that occurred this morning in the capital of Frankfurt. Between 9 and 11 AM, 3 major traffic accidents took place, one in the Bundesautobahn 6617 7 kilometers off the airport district, another at the junction to the Neu-Isenburg district at the A671, and a third near the airport garden in the Raunheim district. Preliminary investigations suggest that the icy road conditions caused the vehicles to skid. So far, at least 9 people have been confirmed dead, with 17 others injured, and the death toll continues to rise. That is a lot for 3 crashes. Due to the impact of the interim regulations of doll security, police and construction dolls responsible for on-site cleanup and traffic control have been unable to arrive at the scene, leading to severe traffic congestion. Frankfurt's emergency medical dolls have also been completely suspended under the regulations, preventing timely medical assistance for those injured in the crashes. Hey look! It's consequences of our actions. Tragically, among the victims was a pregnant woman on her way to a clinic for delivery. Due to the delay in receiving the critical medical care, both the mother and her unborn child have lost their lives. Outside the Children's Hospital of Mainz station along route S8 of the Frankfurt S-Bahn, protesters dressed in white coats from all corners of the city have gathered at this cluster of medical facilities that consists of several high-end private hospitals and nursing homes. No to restriction of dolls. Restore basic medical care. And defend every citizen's right to seek medical treatments. Like hundreds of streams merging into a single river, the mighty procession waving flags with a red cross symbol and holding banners advance along the street with unstoppable force, blocking traffic wherever they go. They pass the Children's Hospital of Mainz, which is the same paralyzed state as most hospitals, and head straight to the adjacent building with the luxurious architecture, the St. Mary Sanatorium, which is the top luxury sanatorium of the country famous for employing only human staff. Yeah, just drop me off here. The road is completely blocked by the protesters ahead. Okay. Before you get off, I must ask you one last time. Are you sure you have to do this? You've asked me the same question dozens of times. I thought it through and I must seek justice for Professor Grey. And the commander is the only one who can help me. But this person keeps refusing to see you and only sends their doll subordinates to deal with you. Can they really be trusted? According to the instructor, the commander is busy with something important right now and will see me when they're done. Call me distrustful, but I think she's only humoring you because she really needs your help. Oh, I know they wouldn't have come to me for help if they weren't truly desperate. With such stringent security regulations in place, there's no way for the dolls stuck outside the city to get in. There's no other way. I've got to help them obtain a permit. If you know what you're doing, I'll shut up. Right. Where are the flowers for my cousin? I hope she still likes some champagne roses. And then the back seats. Your cousin has always doted on you. I'm sure she'll love whatever you get her. Lily picks the bouquet lying in the back seat with a soft sigh. Now you're making me feel guilty. Everyone in this family treats me like I don't exist. Or they are only nice to my face, but it makes snide comments about me behind my back. Only my cousin has always been genuinely kind to me. If I had a choice, I wouldn't get involved in this. But right now, she's the only one in the family who's willing to help me. She will understand. I hope so. Neela removes the seatbelt and gets out of the car. The bustling crowd forces her to skirt around the demonstration and move slowly along the wall. Slogans are bellowed one after another, and pamphlets have fallen from the sky, landing in front of her from time to time. Directly above her, the exquisite carved glass windows remain tightly closed, arrogantly shutting out the commotion of the streets. Equal rights to all, we need medical dolls! Equal rights to all, we need medical dolls! One street away from the sanatorium, the procession is blocked by the police holding riot shields. Like a surging wave hitting a line of Delos, the two parties clash as the angry shouts overlap and resound through the sky. No shouting around the hospital. Back off! Back off! They need their peace and quiet, but we need doctors! You back off and scram! Stop sucking up to the rich bastards! The protesters bash the riot shields angrily with their banner poles. Excuse me, please let me through. The sanatorium is temporarily closed to the public. Please take your leave. My cousin is a patient. I'm here to visit her. Please present your ID and visitation permit. Neela calmly pulls out a transparent dossier folder and produces all the paperwork needed. After inputting the information into the mobile terminal and confirming that Neela is who she claims to be, the police officer signals his colleagues behind him to make way for her. Please come through, Frau. Thank you. The boisterous protests are now behind her, but she can't help but look back. Frau Meyer, your visitor Frau Cornelia Schäfer has arrived. The nurse leading the way pushes a button, and the perfectly spotless door slowly glides open. A pleasant breeze blows through her face. Bright sunlight shines through the huge floor-to-ceiling glass windows into every corner of the walls, dazzling Neela for a moment. The gramophone in the corner is playing Schumann's Träumerei softly, and the air is filled with a fragrance of natural fruits. Neela! Maya, congratulations on your baby. I'm so glad you're both safe. It's been so long. I missed you to death. Seeing that the cousin fully intends to climb off the bed, Nelly immediately rushes over to embrace her. For Christ's sake, please stay in bed for your own good. Alright. I got a bit too excited there. I haven't seen you since your graduation. It wasn't that long ago. Nelly pulls a chair towards her cousin's bed and sits down. Tell me, how have you been since giving birth? Feeling okay? I'm perfectly fine. You, on the other hand, have lost so much weight. Look at that face, all pale and gaunt. I guess I haven't been sleeping very well lately. This is what happened with Galatea. I've been really paranoid these days. Just can't shake the feeling that someone wants to do me in whenever I'm out and about. It's good to be on your guard. There's chaos everywhere these days. Didn't the Dawn murder someone a few days ago? It's all over the news. It really freaked me out, but thankfully all the dolls at home's passed the screening. Yeah, people are all terrified. Who wouldn't want a few extra bodyguards watching their back? Did you all pass the screening? Mia did, but the others ran into some trouble with the paperwork. That won't do. Where have they sent them off to? I'll get you the permits. They're at the temporary camp on the outskirts of the Offenbach district. They ate of them all together. Neela's feeling more at ease now that the matter with the Griffin dolls is sorted. I'm glad you're finally hiring more staff to take care of you, Neela. You have no idea how scary Galatea is. Ever since I escaped from the fire, I've been having nightmares every single night. For context, she was a researcher working on the Grey. You know, the fake Grey, the Paraday's doll. And after she found that out and decided to work with us instead, they attempted to firebomb her in her home. So, yeah, she's very much an assassination target for them. Oh, don't even get me started on Galatea. Maya takes Neo's hand with a deep, angry frown. This Professor Grey that you went on and on about turned out to be a monstrous murderer. And now you've got implicated in the whole mess. Such a pity. You're the most studious kid at home. If it hadn't been for her, your career would have been limitless. That's enough, Maya. Neither resists the urge to scream and squeeze her cousin's hands. It's more important to look forward, isn't it? Absolutely right. So, what are your plans? I'm still looking for a job and going to interviews. But the Galatea incident was such a huge scandal. As soon as a potential employer sees that my name is on that name on my resume, I think you mispronounced ungodly abomination. Can't be of much help to you when it comes to getting you a job. Have you tried contacting grandfather? I haven't seen him in years since my mom died. He's always looked down on my family anyway. Grandfather may have a sharp tongue, but he's keeping an eye on you the whole time. As you know, none of your cousins have the brains for studying. Grandfather had to make donations to fund several buildings for the universities to take us in. Only you managed to get in all by yourself, and with a scholarship to boot. Go and visit him when you have the time. He's pretty lonely at the sanatorium in the White Zone, so I'm sure he'll agree to see you. Ask to see him, sweet tongue a bit, and he may be able to arrange a job for you. The White Zone? Alright, you've never been. Then it's perfect. Take a trip to pay grandfather a visit and spend some time there for a change of scenery. Alright. Mom did ask me to visit him every now and then before she died. I guess it's time I kept my promise. One more thing. Maya looks Neda carefully up and down. Neda squirms uncomfortably under her gaze. What's wrong, Maya? Neda, you haven't dated anyone ever, have you? Well, I'm not interested in that kind of thing. At your age, you really should be settling down with a nice man and starting your own family. What if I introduce some of them to you tomorrow? I've recently met a professor at the University of Heidelberg. The postcard's working for him. Wait, have you forgotten the fact that you literally just gave birth? You should be focusing on your own health for your little one. Mother of life is hardly urgent, so just wait until you're fully recovered and discharged from hospital. I mean, how long is that going to take? Oh, right! I can't go myself, but I can get my friend to help out. There really is no need for that, Maya. You can totally count on me. Go see my friend tomorrow. We're pretty close. She used to be a movie star and is now married to the Minister of Health, a man promoted by grandfather. Which works out perfectly, because she can arrange a meeting with grandfather for you. Maya ramages through her handbag and shoves a card into Neda's hand. Well, Heba, do people still use paper business cards these days? You haven't heard of Heba? She's a super famous actress. During the craze of the remake of the old classic, she was the most sought after female lead. I have a bad feeling about this one. Please don't be a Paradise one again. Neda doesn't deserve that kind of fucking heart attack. She's such a retro belle, and she does actually look like she's just stepped out of an old movie. She does all things vintage and retro. Maya, I'm sure she's got better things to do. Why bother over something so trivial? Don't you fret. I'll obviously return the favor in the future. Besides, the Ministry of Health has had a lot of young college graduates with whom you should have plenty to talk about. I'll ask her to keep an eye out for any boyfriend. Neda sighs quietly to herself, but immediately plasters on a sweet, obliging smile. Alright then. I really don't know how to thank you, Maya. Don't be such a stranger. Neda hugs her cousin tightly. The joy of achieving her aim and the guilt of using her cousin are both evident on her face. Commander, I've completed the first step of the plan. Will you really keep your promise and come to see me? For context, by the way, she is also a character that has a lot of contact with Jay. To the point that many a fan of the game really wants to see those two get together. Now, I, for one, am a proponent of Jay getting or settling down together with a different person. Though that's it all, and that is a bit of a situation in its own right. At around dusk, Lineasia finally returns to the room. Have you missed me, Commander? The Commander opens their bleary eyes. They clearly have not slept very well, and their wrists and ankles are still shackled. What do you mean you say insult to life itself? Am I being moved again? Not yet. Lineasia removes the Commander's restraints. Aren't you worried that I might run for it? The guys are almost on a busy street. Not at all. Bill has placed a bomb in my chest. It'll go off if you stay over 50 meters away from me. Besides, everyone knows that the Commander will never leave their companion behind and run off on their own. The Commander shakes up their numb limbs and pours themselves a glass of wine at the table. Commander, do you go to the church? What do you think? I have no memory of you being religious. I don't believe in God, alright? Why? Because every time I find myself in a desperate situation, it is always myself and my dolls who get me out of it. Where was God when I needed him? If he actually existed, why did he put me through all of this dark ordeal? But you're sitting here and drinking wine because of divine will. Out of countless threats of life, the fates have seized yours, spun it longer and longer, and that's how you managed to come all this way. Can't you feel it? They're watching you with mercy even now. The Commander catches their own reflection in Lena's eyes as they slowly sip their wine. I can tell from your eyes that you're feeling nostalgic about something. The way you talked reminded me of Dandelion. I kept teasing her for being a windbag, but now I actually kind of miss it. The Commander puts down the glass and looks at the girl somberly. Lineasia, let's try to escape together. Why should I escape? Why are you here? Because Bill put me in charge here. Tell me, why should I escape? Because you're not the elder sister that William wants. Lineasia's eyes darken again. If you were, you wouldn't be here. William went to all the trouble to revive his sister. Why would he leave her here all by herself? I just have to get certain parts of me removed, and Bill will want to see me again, just like he used to. If it were so easy, it would have been done long ago, no? Unfortunately, while you are Lineasia, you are also Dandelion and M4. The M4 who made me a promise. They would never agree to be excised so easily. Shut up! The world is once again plunged into darkness. The Commander chuckles humorously to themselves as they embark on yet another journey into the unknown. Nayla opens the door to the hotel room, and Mia immediately comes up to greet her. Back. How'd it go, Nayla? Maya got all the permits sorted. Here, hand them over to the instructor later. Okay. Mia takes the permits and puts them away carefully. You don't look very happy. Maya also told me to visit grandfather in the White Zone. She thinks he can give me a job or something. Now, Vogt is a bit harsh on you, but I don't think he will refuse to do you a favor. I'm not going there to beg him for a favor. I'm just paying him a visit out of respect for my mom's dying wish. So what's troubling you? Maya asked me to visit her friend before going to see my grandfather tomorrow. He's very eager to play matchmaker and arrange some blind dates for me. Why are you laughing? I thought of something happy. Nayla slumps listlessly onto the sofa. I wanted to turn her down, but I felt bad for using her to get the Commander's dolls into the city. Since you already agreed, you should at least go and meet this friend of hers. You can always cancel the blind dates later on with some excuse. Right. Lily kicks off her flip-flops. When I was little, I hated all my relatives except Maya. They're all such phonies. They would only show superficial concern for you if they wanted to take advantage of you. Now I feel like I've become the kind of person that I most despise. No, Neda, you haven't. Using others is like second nature to people like that, when it's the last resort for you. When it's all over, I have to apologize to Maya properly. By the way, any news from the instructor? No, they're still stuck on the outside of the city because of the security regulations. Who is the instructor? Actually, it's AR-18, isn't it? Then you better hurry and get the permits over to them. Lyudmila. Though not really. You don't have the memories of Lyudmila. But you're AR-18. Yippee. Sure. But I still stand by my opinion. It's dangerous to get involved with them. I know, but I still want to do what I think is right. I can't let Professor Grey die in such disgrace. Mia, only the commander can help me. Mia sighs helplessly as she packs her bag for the journey. I'm going to see the instructor. Remember to ask about the commander. I will. Now get some rest. You have 2 tough battles to fight tomorrow. Tell me about it. After Mia leaves the hotel room, Nelly shuffles suddenly into the bathroom. Lines outlining shadows. A few days ago on the outskirts of the Offenbach district in Frankfurt. Ooh, she's new, I think. I don't remember her at all. What's all up? It's time to change shifts. Has the instructor come out at all? Has the instructor come out at all during your shifts yesterday? She's also very new. And also very precariously dressed. No. Why? That's 3 days. For 3 whole days she's been inside the safe house. That's not a good sign. This is MG338. I have a report for A18. Arthur routinely sweeps the visitor from head to toe as quickly as she can. You good? The petite figure gives her a silent nod before disappearing through the door into the safe house. In the evening, inside the temporary safe house. The stuffy air hangs heavy in the room. It's obvious that the windows haven't been open for several days. Lenny walks up to A18, who's hard at work. While going through the work that the commander has left behind, I came across several messages in the personal mailbox. The sender's name is Cornelia Schaefer. She wrote a request to the commander's assistance in investigating Professor Grey, who was affiliated with the Galatea Corporation before her death. She seems to have knowledge of certain matters concerning Paradeus. What do you think? She is the employer of Mia, a former colleague of mine. If you are concerned about whose side she is on, I want help to evade Paradeus' pursuit while in Berlin. So you think she could be trusted? In my opinion, even though she hails from a wealthy and prominent family, she could be depended upon. In fact, I would go so far as to say she is on the same path as the commander. Hails from a wealthy and prominent family. Yes, she is the granddaughter of the former Minister of Health. We need an influential human to help us get into Frankfurt. Are you implying we should ask a favor of Miss Schaefer? If there's any possibility that it may work, I'll give it a try. Understand? I will contact Mia immediately. Also, keep the commander's disappearance a secret from her for now. Yes, ma'am. At present, on the outskirts of the Offenbach district, Frankfurt. Atta is startled by the sudden rustling of leaves while she's standing guard. Who's there? Relax, it's me. Miss Mia. How come you've never make a sound when you move? Being quiet and unobtrusive is one of the basic qualities of a bodyguard. It's the instructor here. I've come with new intel. Come on in. A18 puts down what she is doing when she sees Mia coming in. Any messages from Ms. Naylor? These are your permits. Memorize all the details of your cover identities written on them. They may question you at the security screening. A18 takes the permits and her stern face softens ever so slightly. Please convey your gratitude to Ms. Naylor. She has certainly done us a huge favor. If you want to thank her, get the commander to do it in person. Sure. Mia glances around the room and silently takes note of the details she sees. Any questions, Miss Mia? Commander isn't busy. They're trapped somewhere, aren't they? There are no obvious signs of human activity in the safe house. Besides, if the commander were not incapacitated, you wouldn't have come for to Naylor for help with the permits. Doesn't Mia happen to have a blue diamond tattoo? I don't know. Why? What? As I've already explained to Miss Naylor, the commander is doing their utmost best to resolve a certain matter, but they have run into some obstacles. Once the commander completes their task, they will be more than happy to treat with Miss Naylor. So where is the commander dealing with this important matter? In the Wiesbaden district. If you're referring to the restricted area within the Wiesbaden district, you can just say the White Zone. I was not aware that this kind of information is public knowledge in Germany. Even ordinary citizens can visit the government office as long as they have an appointment. Let's see. In that case, it would also be a walk in the park for Ms. Naylor to travel to the White Zone, wouldn't it? You know Ms. Naylor won't say no to your request. If it's at all possible, could you ask Ms. Naylor to take note of the terrain and geography within the White Zone for us? To be honest, this is what the commander has been trying to achieve clandestinely. That's state secrets. Are you asking Naylor to commit treason? We will never put Miss Naylor in that kind of position. I swear to you on the commander's honor. Naylor will be meeting her Vogt in the White Zone tomorrow afternoon. I hope you'll hold up your end of the bargain. When this matter is over, I'll make sure Miss Naylor gets an appointment with the commander. Sounds like she might have learned in a Madame course of Personal Protection Academy that the graduates of which receive a blue diamond tattoo. Madame course Personal Protection Academy. That feels familiar, but I don't know from what. I have no idea. Wait. Also, my tracking's been a little bit off today. Don't know why. A18 convenes an emergency operation meeting. Artemis Fowl ring a bell? I know a few people that like it, so maybe the name just dropped in some conversation at some time. Like, it's not the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I know exactly what it's from. It's just like, it's mildly familiar. The assembled dolls line up neatly and gather in the cramped interior of the safe house. 18 stands across from them behind a simple desk and scans everyone's faces. We are all set to enter Frankfurt. I will now give instructions on how we are going to proceed. Would all team leaders present promptly relay the information to the teams? Yes, ma'am. First of all, we will be entering Frankfurt with Miss Naylor's help. Her bodyguard, Miss Mia, will be driving us into the city, and we will be declared as Miss Naylor's newly hired bodyguard dolls. Considering the latest until we have the traffic restrictions in Frankfurt, I believe those who come along with this time must meet at least the following criteria. 1. They must have experience in carrying out prolonged COVID operations in an urban setting. And 2... And 2, they must excel at electronic warfare and masking their signals to conduct infiltrations. I think I heard a name's being called. That is actually very much just 4-4, straight up. Yes, Squad 4-4. I need all of you to aid us on the AEW front this operation. No problem. I'll build a commander for it. Also, Cross and Hertha. Yes, ma'am. The 6 of you will be coming with me to Frankfurt. Oh, while I'm away, please keep this place running. Understood. I just feel a bit useless for not being able to help you. The AR team sustained severe damage in the previous operation and are still recovering. Even you haven't been fully repaired yourself. Please don't worry about anything else until you get yourself patched up. Alright. Once I leave, you and AR-15 will be in charge of the safe house and the person in the area. Please keep all the remaining dolls safe and await further instructions. Roger that. 416 picks up the permits from the desk and checks them one by one. What should we do with these permits that Ms. Naylor has delivered to us? The information on them doesn't really match to us. That's true. All of the paperwork has been taken care of. We will still have to stay out of sight as much as possible. In the most ideal scenario, we won't have to go through any manned checkpoints and are granted access after simple document verification. Let's see. So Squad 4-4 will have our work cut out for us from the moment we get in. I'll leave that in the good hands. ID signal masking and modification is your forte after all. Your forte must be bossing people around. Now, let's figure out how we can speedrun the security checks in Frankfurt. It's the butler, Artemis. Oop. Gonna be right back. One moment. Hello there. Also, I didn't get stuck at happy. You see, when I leave, the model saves my last facial expression. So I attempt to make it not in a really stupid expression. Because if it's like... yeah. It can get stuck in really dumb expressions. So I deliberately get it stuck in happy. Let me just grab my blanket again because it's very cold. Second happy is not the worst thing to do. Well, for better or for worse, I can say that much unlike myself, the model is very cute, so... sorry. Is everybody getting stuck at happy or still getting stuck at happy? I guess. Late at night outside Frankfurt. A van full of dolls follows the congested traffic and moves slowly on the brightly lit autobahn, grinding to a stop regularly before starting up again. With a hand poised on the car horn, Mia looks around restlessly. Aren't there supposed to be traffic restrictions all over Frankfurt? Why are there so many cars waiting in line to get in at this late hour? I'm looking at the license plates. There are even cars coming from Munich and Lübeck. Why come all the way here at a time like this? People are probably unnerved by the terrorist attacks in Berlin and Frankfurt. The series of explosions in Berlin from a few months ago still haven't been fully investigated. And then there was another explosion in Frankfurt on Halloween, and now a doll has apparently committed murder. People all over Germany are in a panic. But shouldn't they be avoiding Berlin and Frankfurt? In the eyes of ordinary citizens, the stricter the restrictions, the safer they think it is. Right now, Frankfurt's crackdown on dolls is probably the toughest in the entire country. Enough chit-chat. 416 stares at the multiple dots moving uniformly on the screen. 45, several drones have locked onto us. Keep calm. Don't do anything that would draw suspicion. Both A18 and Mia glance ahead. Several drones lined up in a single row are overlooking and scanning the vehicles entering the city from midair. Seems to be a routine check. We haven't attracted any particular attention. Just to be safe, we should still wipe ourselves from the system after getting through. Right, I've already left the back door. All permits and forged IDs have been uploaded. All green at the back end. No problem whatsoever. Looks like we passed the first check then. All the adults in the van breathe a small sigh of relief. Cars from Lübeck smuggling illicit marzipan? I don't know, but even if they did, like, honestly, if they did, they deserve to be locked up. You suddenly become so mature and dependable, 416. Are you in a lot of debt or something? Why are you always talking smack to me? I was just expressing my concern for you. Your concern is hard to stomach. My financial situation is perfectly fine, thank you very much. Oh, nice. 416 is such a reassuring presence now. Oh, personally take charge confiscating the contraband. No, I will take charge of destroying it with fire. 45, is this what being a veteran truly means? 416's fingers keep dancing across the keyboard, but her frown betrays her exasperation. 18, can you order them to shut up? It's probably a good idea to keep quiet for now. Roger that. Okie dokie. 45 smiles to herself and looks out the window. Hi, Fox. How are you doing? Let me give you a shout out. Thank you very much for the raid. You nerds. Go and take a rest. Hope you have a good stream. Yeah. Thank you very much for the raid, Fox. Do have a good rest. I, for my part, I'm streaming. Smile. I've been brought here the second time. Truly, such a miracle. You have been copied, I guess. And for the people that don't know me yet, hi, I'm TB. I play video games, oftentimes military-related, sometimes not. Today we're playing Ghost Online, which is sort of military-related. It's hard to explain. Welcome to a military sci-fi thriller. Well, not military sci-fi thriller. A Cold War-esque sci-fi military thriller. Spy thriller, I guess. Which is using guns, but they're girls. It's a thing. It's also coming to a head. As you can also see, I'm a Wolf VTuber and I'm just chilling. I'm a massive nerd, and so is Fox. She knows it. I'm onto you. I hope your streaming was good, but though. Funnily enough, I've actually been brought here by your raid as well. Because I was lurking in the stream. I'm just a little confused about why the alert didn't go off. Because there should have been an alert. Was there an alert and I'm just stupid? I don't know. I don't know. UB-45 smarts herself and looks out the window. Amidst the silence, a small drone suddenly whizzes down to scan the van. She's meant to be here to deny it, but everyone knows she's a nerd. We're now in the queue waiting to get through the checkpoints. Was the visual alert? No, but no sound. That's what I thought. Why though? Weird. Veteran, switch to our closed circuit comms channel and deactivate all external contact signals. Pay attention to your facial expressions and movements. Don't blow your cover. Acknowledged. Understood. The van is silent once again. In a small enclosed space with only the dull roar of the engine, it slowly carries the doors toward the brightly night of Frankfurt. We get our first combat mission. Sleepless night. It's another teleport puzzle. What do we have to do? Send units to the enemy command post. Press to enter. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay. Control terminal there. I guess we just have to find our way in. The music, man. It's got this feeling of we're entering the end game. And I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those things where I don't know. I also don't know where I need to go, so I'm just gonna randomly chart a course, I guess. Well, that seems to have worked. I love teleporter room puzzles. I mean, as long as it works, you know, I don't mind. I really like the music of this event already. It very much has this feeling, as I said, of like the end of it all is close. I'm just gonna spawn something else for an extra unit, extra movement point. Yeah, teleport here, I guess. Swoop. Fuck teleporter puzzles. I'll probably turn up the music a little bit. Well, first of all, we need to go to the control terminal, open all the doors, and swoop in. Now, for the sake of the story, I'm playing these missions on easy mode, so that it doesn't take too long to get through. But there are more difficult missions. Open the gates. Can I close the gates again? Can I do the funny? Will you allow me to do the funny? Dang, you don't. Shame. I can't crunch you between the doors. Over and over and over again. Actually reminds me as well that I really should read AK-12's mod story. Because it does actually continue from after the last event. That is so many new missions. Like, why are you here? Hello? Now, I haven't gone through that story bit in the event that she's from. But for context, she's dead. Something's funky. Light as a feather one. Okay. File decryption. Charge, growth, rebirth. The caterpillar calls it the end of the world, while the master calls it a butterfly. But to me, it's just a cocoon. But do fully immune individuals really exist? Yes, they do actually exist. Maclean, stop asking me the same question over and over. But Morido's birth isn't going well. She's in a lot of pain. Pain? Maclean, you still have much to learn. When it's your time to break through the cocoon and emerge as a butterfly, the pain will stop. Bubska, when were you born? I'd already been born when you were born. That's not right, you're lying. You're just a shapeless white blob. We've all died thousands and thousands of times. What exactly is this place? Why am I called Maclean? This is the cocoon. You, Morido, and I are all named by the Master. We are not in the Lake of Cognition. Those are redundant memories. Fragments that should be removed from your body and returned to the Lake of Cognition. But Morido is being born here. Yes, this is another hotbed beyond the Lake of Cognition. It is the cocoon where we are born. Is this why I can't see you? I suppose I'm also a cocoon to you. Why? The Master wants to bring God to the physical world, but she specifically wants God to come on to our sect. Not to GRCH-38's domain. The Lake of Cognition is generated from GRCH-38 and a part of the spring. But the Master wants God to manifest in our cocoon. We are born from her whims and flashes of inspiration. Our names are all portmanteaus. Mine is a blend of Maca and Helianthus. Yours is Bad Bee and Scarecrow put together. And Morido is a combination of Morrigan and Shadow. What exactly are we? A trinity of sisters. Divine creations known as Nitos. There's nothing divine about those things. No, I'm no such thing. I remember feeling my own skin, expressing my own feelings. I'm no such thing. Maclean, you need to return to the cocoon and be reborn. No. The younger sister stops smiling. A slender finger presses the alarm button on the wall. Standing on the precipice of the ravine, she peers down the pile of cadavers with great satisfaction. So now I'm the one and only Mordo. Yes, sister. Mordo's gaze falls on the inferior specimen before her. The malice in her eyes makes the White Knight tremble. Mordo. A soft call interrupts Mordo's sinister plotting. She turns around. Maclean slowly approaches Mordo, and Mordo shrinks back in fear. Let's run away together. What? Mordo freezes for a moment, and Maclean uses this opportunity to walk up to her. Let's get out of here. If we stay here, we won't be ourselves anymore. That was the question Maclean has asked that day. At the moment when Maclean thought Babska was not around, in a place where she thought Babska would not over here, she had planned to quietly run away with Mordo, leaving Babska behind all by herself. But Babska knew everything. Took a strong lapse. I saw the screenshot. I essentially didn't join voice channel for the simple reason that I was extremely tired. So I took a nap, and I didn't manage to wake up on time for stream. Smile. 9 fucking bears. Yeah. Unless that's another stolen labs. Hang on. Yeah, no, that was a different raid. Never mind, that was 4 PMCs. I really want to know what that Morse code in the back of the music is actually spelling out. And I can bet that there's got to be someone that's going to decipher it. None of that did 4 total. All alive. Sick. So this is going to be the farming map. Where we can get all of the dolls that I already have. Smile. GPSA extractors. Sick. Bankwood district. Bankwood. At 1:30 AM, a van driving alone in a dark slip of road merges slowly onto the westbound Autobahn 66. As soon as the bulky vehicle breaks free from the chaotic and congested traffic gridlock in the city, it starts speeding on the flat and empty highway. Bright streetlights rigged with speed cameras whiz past the roof of the van. He opens the window and lets the clear, chilly air rush into the van. It's filled with the sweet fragrance of the local flora. We are at the surveillance range. Our comms should be free from monitoring interference. Mia, we can now establish contact with Miss Nelly. Right. Mele, you there? I'm here. Did you make it into the city okay? Past the checkpoint without arousing any suspicion. We're now en route to our destination. Let's see. I'm glad it went smoothly. Miss Instructor, I've solved your problem, so when do I get to meet the commander? Commander will definitely arrange a meeting with you first thing once this is over, I promise. Get some rest, Taylor. It's already morning. You still need to visit your grandfather this afternoon. Yeah, I know. Inside the hotel room, Nayla is sitting at the desk with her head propped in her hands. On the bed behind her lie a few pieces of clothing her cousin has prepared for her tomorrow, but she is not in the mood to try them on. Why is the commander avoiding me? Don't overthink it. Griffin is currently dealing with some very tricky issues. The instructor hasn't told you about them because she doesn't want to get you involved. Fine, I won't pry. Is everything all set for the afternoon? Miss Farhaber confirmed everything with you. All set. At 8 in the afternoon, I'll meet Frau Heber and have breakfast with her. Then she'll give me some pointers regarding my appearance. At 2 in the afternoon, my grandfather's chauffeur will come pick me up at Frau Heber's place. How do you feel about your interactions with Frau Heber? What do you make of her? Nada pulls out a business card and sandwiched between the pages of her notebook. It's printed on unusual cream cardstock with understated gold foil on the edge. The card is embossed with Heber's signature and a sketch of a beautiful woman's profile. The only information it contains is Heber's name and the contact details of her assistant. Gonna say Vector 45 with Monstrum goes hard in that place. I'm gonna guess the same will be true about the Vector 9 with, well, the same. Especially because today I actually leveled up to 36, got Prepper to Master, so now I have 3 traders mastered, and he just sells PvP 9mm. Smile. It's expensive, but you can buy it. Still haven't met her in person, but according to my cousin, Farhiba's a very charming retro belle. From what I know, Farhiba has a pretty good reputation within the entertainment circle and still keeps in touch with her old friends even after getting married and leaving the showbiz. You know, I've never seen any other woman who didn't attract gossip for keeping her own name and after marrying some bigwig government official. Also probably might lower flesh damage versus raiders. Yeah. See what I'm getting at? Women usually take their husband's surname after getting married, but she still goes by Frau Heber. So? This is highly unconventional for female stars. Other than her, I've not seen another case. For close calls, that yeah. This goes to show that there's something unusual about her, so you'd better watch out. Right, I'll be careful. I've done something worse than Grizzly sucked at the leg. What is it? After Mia terminates a call, 416 disables the network connection on the vehicle. We may have left the surveillance range, but just to be safe, we should go dark just before we reach our destination. Agreed. Miss Mia, please exit the next junction. Are we leaving the Autobahn so soon? Yes. We need to make certain that we aren't being followed. From the various checks I've done, I don't believe anyone has their eyes at us at the moment. But since we can't be sure what they're actually capable of, please work with us here. Understand. Following 416's instruction, Mia exits the Autobahn at the next junction. (2:15 AM) in a parking lot near the cemetery in Frankfurt district, Frankfurt. Okay, we're now 100% sure that nobody is tracking our movements. So can we now carry on with our pre-planned route? No. Everybody get out of the van. What? We're switching vehicles before we set off again. Our backup vehicle is in a bay AO-42. 52. Alrighty. Clean up all traces of the vehicle and disembark. You actually prepared so far ahead. You couldn't even make it into Frankfurt. How did you arrange a backup vehicle to be parked there? We have our ways. Just trust them on this. Nobody's more skilled at shaking off pursuit than 4-4. Mia gets out of the van, not quite sure how to feel. Trust 4-4. Trust the process. 2:15 AM, Frankfurt district, Frankfurt. A nondescript van skillfully avoids the closely monitored main roads. Once I'm certain it is not being followed, it stops circling around and slips into a concealed alleyway. At last, it pulls up steadily just outside an underground music bar. We're here. We're getting off the G11. The doors emerge from the vehicle. After making sure they haven't left anything behind, A18 walks over to the driver's window. Thank you very much, Miss Mia. Don't mention it. As long as you hold up your end of the bargain with Mele. Understood. With all the doors out of the van, it promptly drives away and soon disappears into the night. The dogs walk down the stairs and stop at the door to the closed bar. Why is it closed? 18. Have you agreed on a code phrase with them? Yes. 18 walks up to the door and knocks. Hello? Hello? I would like to speak with you. I know this music. Please. Please. Who are you? Red. A sky that is all red. Have you another name? Alright, that stream. In the grass with pieces of coal. The voice behind the door falls silent. After a moment, the door to the bar opens and a black screen is pushed aside. Please come in. The voice speaks coldly from an unidentifiable spot. 18 nods at the doors behind her, then leads the way into the darkness. please. The doors go down a rusty staircase. That is already footsteps echoing through the spacious underground interior. Wow, you'd never be able to tell from the outside. I certainly wasn't expecting the level of security in this place. This is the private property that Dr. Hume purchased before his death. External signals have a hard time penetrating the complex underground structure, so it should keep you safe for the time being. Thank you for arranging this, Miss Stevens M520. Shame. We meet at last. The girl looks up. She's sitting at the bar counter sipping a cup of tea, which seems rather incongruous with her surroundings. Now that you're all here, we can finally get down to business. Though, if you'd like to make some pointless small talk first, I don't mind waiting an extra 5 minutes, seeing that you're already 2 hours late. I don't think anyone here would find that necessary. Let's just get cracking. M16 drains a glass of whiskey, then rises to her feet and walks over to join the group. You took almost double the time it should to have taken here. Did something happen on the way? No, we just took a few detours for safety reasons. A necessary measure. I'm sure as long as you didn't attract any unwanted attention. UMP-45 tuts in a faint surprise. Never thought I'd see the day when you two would have a civil conversation with each other. Right, since we're all here, let's start the meeting. Huh? But Sophia hasn't arrived yet. They're here. Stevens M520 replies with a slight frown of distaste. Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't ruin the surprise. Anchor 12 deactivates a cloak. 3 pale figures materialize on top of the table in the center of the room. All members of Task Force Defy are present. Good evening, ladies. Before we start, get the hell off that table. That's a piece of antique in Dr. Hume's collection, made of a single piece of old paddock wood. Whatever you say. The Defy Dots also join the others and take their seats. Now the meeting can finally begin in earnest. Let's start by discussing how we'll carry out the operation. It has been 8 whole days since the commander went missing. All the intelligence we have gathered during this time points to the fact that the Paradeus was involved in the commander's disappearance. According to the information supplied by Defy, all Paradeus intelligence is processed through the Beasting system. If we hack it, we will be able to find leads about the commander's whereabouts. Yes, we already have the approximate coordinates of the Beasting system server. It's under the mine. Squad 44, you will be in charge of attacking the Beasting system with the support from Cross and Herta. Sure. I can also provide aid if necessary. After all, I'm very curious what kind of spell this commander has cast on that dog. Then you have the command of over Cross and Herta. There's been an increase in Paradeus activity since traffic restrictions were put in place in Frankfurt. I suspect they're up to something again. This is precisely what I need Defy to do. Investigate Paradeus intentions. Just investigate. That is your objective. How you achieve it is entirely up to you. Just what I want to hear. Your actions will also serve as a distraction to draw Paradeus' attention away from 4-4, but please don't go overboard. As the muttered discussion continues into the basement, 416 takes a note of the minute shift in M16's expressions. Everyone present has been given a task, except for a certain someone who hasn't said a word so far. The agent 416's word does not go unnoticed. All the dots, including A18, directs the gaze at M16. See, this is what I've been waiting for. 45, don't stoke the fire. I meant no offense. I simply think that since we're all working together to rescue the commander, we should share everything we know. Squad 44 is offering our tech. Defy has also supplied all the intelligence they have gathered in recent days. So perhaps you also have something to contribute, M16. M16 pours herself another whiskey as she meets M416's pointed gaze with an unflappable smile. It was Lunasia who removed the commander and William from the Elmo. Then the question is, where are they now? Frankfurt, in the White Zone. The White Zone. A place mentioned in local urban legends. where there's absolutely zero contamination, prepared just for those in power. What's the source of your information? That's all I can say about the White Zone and the Commander's whereabouts. I am now officially an employee of StateSec, and there are a lot of things in which I can't overtly get involved. Why are you in... Oh, StateSec, sorry. Regarding your upcoming operation, I have only one request. Determine the Commander's exact coordinates within the White Zone. I can handle the rest. Understood. That is precisely what we wish to achieve. Say, why don't we harvest some honey before cutting down the hive? It'd be much easier to eradicate the hive and vermin when we have the better tools, no? That's not a bad idea. What do you think? I have no objection. If you could locate Paraday's remaining bases of operation, all the better. We will do our best. That concludes the preliminary division of labor for the operation, which will henceforth be known as Operation Adrastea. If we all agreed, we will proceed to the next item on the agenda. The specifics of Operation Adrastea. Okay. Let's go through one more story chapter for now. St. Mary Sanatorium, Mines District, Frankfurt. With a nurse showing the way, a woman holding a bouquet enters the room with a smile. You look positively radiant even after just giving birth. You have no idea how jealous I am. Something is already off about her. Could this be a disguise? Or... What was she called? What have my phone? Where do I have my phone? There. 1 second, please. Paradise. Members. Nemron. That was the name. Could this be a disguised Nemron? Maybe. I don't know. And you are as refreshing a present as ever, Frau Heber. Heber walks up to the side of the bed gracefully and takes Maya's hand. You've lost weight. I've been eating properly the last few days. It's the catering, not to your taste. I remember you like your fruit from... Oh, stop fretting over me. I'm perfectly fine. I suppose you're worried about your little cousin. I just feel sorry for her. She was such a good kid and did really well in school, but she only ended up going down the wrong path because she was deceived when she was freshly graduated. I wouldn't have come to you for help otherwise. Professor Grey, you mean? I remember she was all over the news for a few years ago. She seemed like a professional woman of substance. Could have known she was actually doing something so heinous in secret. Has Nayla ever talked about her? We once had a chat where she mentioned how close they were, and that it was the Professor Grey who got her to work in Galatea. Since the scandal was publicized, she never brought it up again. I wouldn't be surprised if she's come to resent this Professor Grey. Is that so? Yeah. Every time I bring the woman up, she'll grimace, then promptly change the subject. Let's see. I'd rather not talk about her either. If it hadn't been for her, Nayla would have had a bright future. I understand how you feel. I've also been tricked by well-respected people back in the early days of my career. But you made it through. You started so many successful films, and now you're retired and have a happy family. How wonderful is that? If only Nayla could also... Why can't she? Didn't you even manage to secure a meeting with Mr. Vogt for her? Anything's possible with just a nod from that man. Just hope the meeting will go ahead without a hitch. But enough of that. Any news about the list of candidates that I've asked you to put together? of course. I've picked out a handful based on your requirements. It would be really, really funny if Jay was in it. It would be really, really funny. Because they do know each other. He returns on her tablet and starts showing several profiles to Maya. These are all boys of good stock and education. I've also made inquiries about their characters. They're all kind and well-mannered gentlemen. Oh, I knew I could count on you. Just focus on recuperating. I'll see Nail at 8, and I'll get her to look through the profiles. Thank you so much for the trouble. Once I'm discharged, I'll definitely treat you to... Hush now. Ava quiets Maya by holding up a long, slender finger. You know I don't need anything like that. As long as you get to go home in perfect health, I'm more than happy to help you solve your problems. You really are the most considerate friend I have. Don't be such a stranger. Ava definitely opens up the pastry she has brought along and cuts up the piece for Maya. Now tell me more about this little cousin's hobbies and interests. Science. On the highway, Mines District, Frankfurt. After departing from the sanatorium, the black limousine speeds steadily eastward to the Eschborn district. However, Miss Ned has already set off. Why is this music playing now? I don't trust you. Have the chauffeur take her around for a spin and only drop her off when I'm done here. Also, get someone to look into all the comms, mail, photos and videos on the social media. Yes, ma'am. The organizers of next year's film festival have invited you to an award presenter again. How should I respond? They're asking half a year ahead. They must be really short on people. Tell them my schedule is TBD and I'll get back to them again in 3 months. Understood. And will you still be hosting the birthday meet and greet next month? Your fans have come to the office building and made a scene quite a few times. It's essential that we maintain our intelligence network. We'll do it at the same restaurant. Remember to get some friendly journalists to snap some photos from outside. I'll make the arrangement at once. I don't trust you. A few women have also invited you to afternoon tea, but they're all on the tier C in our system. In your system. You're Nemron. I guarantee you are fucking Nemron. Turn it down. Got it. Oh, while you were at St. Mary's Sanatorium earlier, a woman named Lady White left you a message. You have not assigned her a tier, so I wasn't sure how to... What's the message? It reads, the departed butterfly is rewoven its cocoon, ready to be reborn again. I don't like this. Forgive my ignorance, but is this lyrics from some opera? Should I purchase a ticket for you? Ava, who has been resting with her eyes closed on the back seat, opens her eyes. No need, she's already got me one. In the cultivation chamber beneath the Paradise Factory, Eschborn District, Frankfurt. Dozens of Nitos, some white, some black, are struggling. Some apathetic are bound incarcerated within rows of transparent water tanks. Nemron stands before the tanks and watches as Ashley inspects each of them in turn and records the data. Sister Nemron, I have already compiled all the data and generated a report. Should we wait until she arrives before we start, or... She's already here. Ashley's always prided herself on being perceptive, but she did not notice anyone approach. You've actually kept the same assistant around for so long. A slender arm wraps around her shoulders. From the corner of her eye, Ashley sees a beautiful face with exquisite features leaning in. She seems to be just an ordinary Naito, so how did she manage to survive for so long by your side? Okay, so she's not Nemron, because they're both in the same room together, I guess. But she's definitely Paradeus, and I have no idea who. How curious. I would love to take her apart and have a look. Sister Ava, if I've done anything to offend you by mistake, please forgive me. I was just joking. Maybe let's go of her. Ashley feels weak in her legs. I have a report. You're excused for now. Yes, Sister Nemron. I should have used the cultivation chamber. Her heart's still pounding in apprehension. It shouldn't have been time to check in yet. Why have you summoned me here? Read the report. Haber flips through the report that Ashley has left behind and raises an eyebrow derisively. I see that the operation in Berlin went splendidly. Moira was so efficient, ruining plans, exposing her downlines, squandering our supplies. She did it all. Hearing about whites clued me in that Haber isn't Emran. Yeah, but... I just... She's even better at spending money than me. I'll deal with her later. We have a much more pressing matter. The channel to the Lake of Cognition was destroyed. Who's responsible? Unclear, but we need to activate the backup channel immediately. Otherwise, Paraday's manpower supply will not be able to keep up with the progression of the plan. What does Father say? He demands immediate results. At any cost? I'm just relaying his order. Make of that what you will. Operation Cocoon is going smoothly in Frankfurt. We're actually about 27% ahead of schedule. Initiate Phase 3 right away. Haber leans against the office desk with a smile and pauses for a moment before she responds. Things may be going well here, but we're still a bit far off from being able to initiate Phase 3. Besides, you've been in Moscow and Avernus this whole time, so you couldn't stay on top of the situation in Berlin, let alone Frankfurt. I built the foundation of our Operation Cocoon in Frankfurt myself. It has taken years of effort in accumulating resources and establishing contacts to achieve its current scale. I know exactly what to do. I just need Father to give me a time frame. Don't try to probe me for information. I am taking over here. I don't want Paradise to be kicked out of Frankfurt the way it was in Berlin. This is how you know it's fiction. Something in Frankfurt is ahead of schedule. Also, let me snooze the ad for 5 minutes. The farce in Berlin will never be repeated. On another note, Professor Laplace's research has reached a critical stage, and maintaining a steady flow of resources is of utmost importance. I'm sure you know what the success of a research entails. So don't bother with your asinine tricks. You've changed a great deal since you left Avernus, Sister Nemron. You didn't used to be so hard-handed. Haber's grin widens with interest. What else has happened that I don't know of, I wonder? I don't have time for idle chit-chat. Mordo and Bramid are both worthless, and you're the only one I can think of to fill the opening. I understand. Since Professor Laplace's research is almost complete, I won't have to wait long for what I want. Glad you worked that out. One more question. What do we do about the mess in Frankfurt? The RPK sure was something else. She really muddied the waters there. She brought up the organization named Pandora. I'll have Styx take care of that, so no need to concern yourself with this matter. Anything else? No. You're as dependable as ever, Sister Namron. If you have no more questions, then get out of here. You mustn't blow your cover yet. With a smile and a small wave, Haber's lithe figure vanishes like a smoke in the winds. Ashley, what's the current restoration progress of the factory? Yes, Mr. Nameron. Our facilities have been restored to 25.8 capacity, and repairs are progressing steadily. As for manpower... Ashley grits her teeth. At least 51% had been used up to keep the beasting system and channel operating normally. Excluding the defective specimens that have gone rogue because of the disconnection, only 33% of the remaining personnel can be recovered. Nemron runs some mental calculations. Then she impassively walks over to the monitors and lets out an almost imperceptible sigh. Clean up all the defective specimens within the next minute. Yes, Sister Nemron. Ashley hurries towards the warehouse. A loud noise comes from above, shaking the old ceiling. Debris and dust fall all over the floor. What was that? Don't panic. Nemron taps the control terminal lightly, and the CCTV live feeds from both inside and outside the factory instantly fill the monitors in front of her. On the roof of the central factory building, 3 shadowy figures flit past the edge of the screen and slip through the blasted hole like spectres. Taskmaster 5. What relentless pests. Data on Taskmaster 5 has been updated and synchronized. Then there's not a moment to waste. Nemon pushes the button to activate the defenses of the factory. The next moment, the alarm starts blaring in the spacer's workshop. Protect the core. I am going to greet them in person. I think that we're going to stop the GFL for now. Because my voice is actually giving out.